Hey guys, it's Brid, and I actually wasn't going to film today, but Steve Donahue mentioned me in a tag and said that whenever my videos show up in his feed, that makes him happy, and so that motivated me immensely to film today. So I have a TBR slash haul type deal going on in addition to my empty shelfie TBR for October. I will hopefully, and I'll link that up here. I hope to get through all of these books. I want to read at least 100 pages a day for October, just so I can actually try to get reading actually done. But without further ado, here is a haul. This is one that you guys have already seen. This is Sleepy Hollow. I got this in an owl crate. I've never sat down and read Sleepy Hollow. It's very short, but I've never sat down and I've read it. I've watched the movie. I watched the television show on Fox where Ichabod Crane is in some strange time warp, and I like that, but I'll read this. Yes, so, ebooks. I did pick up Ramona Blue. If you want to learn more about why I'm reading that, I'll link that video up here somewhere. But yes, I picked up Ramona Blue. Also, for a buddy read with Devin, aka Indie Insomniac, I picked up The Graveyard Apartment by Mariko Koike, and it's actually not a Kindle book, but it's not here, so I am holding the Kindle just so you have a nice visual. In the realm of physical books that are recent releases, I got Envisioned by Ryan Groudon. This is not usually a novel I would pick up, but Ryan Groudon has never ever written something that I did not like as of yet, and so the description based on the publisher is as follows. Faraway Gaius McCarthy was born outside of time, the son of a time traveler from 2354 AD and a gladiator living in ancient Rome. Far's very existence defies the laws of nature. As all he's ever wanted was to explore history for himself. But after failing his entrance exam into the government program, Far will have to settle for a position on the black market, capturing a time-traveling crew to steal valuables from the past. During a routine heist on the sinking Titanic, Far meets a mysterious girl named Elliot, who always seems to be one step ahead of him. Elliot has secrets, big ones, that will affect Far's life from beginning to end. Armed with the knowledge that history is not as steady as it seems, she will lead Far and his team on a race through time to set things right before the clock runs out. In this heart-stopping adventure, Ryan Groudon creates a fast-paced world that defies time and space. So, while I'm not the biggest fan of heist novels, I love the Titanic. It's one of my, I wouldn't call it passions, but it's something that I've done a lot of research on, and I know a lot about it fairly well. I wouldn't call myself an expert or entirely well read on the subject, but I know enough to properly critique the historical fiction that this will probably pertain to. I'm gonna cough, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm done coughing. Maybe. Possibly. And the next book that I have for you guys is An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. And I am so happy that I got the physical copy of this book because it's gorgeous. The camera doesn't pick up on it very well, but this dust jacket glows when it hits the light. Ooh, you can kind of see it there. But this book, this dust jacket is just beautiful. I'm so happy. There's also a crow screaming on the back, and I've started it. I very rarely do I ever pick up a book as soon as it arrives on my doorstep, but this one had a little bit of an extra journey to my house, along with Envicious. I pre-ordered them, so they were supposed to get here on release day, but something happened in the mail, and they arrived a day later. I was mildly annoyed by this, but it is what it is. It got to my house okay, it's fine. And so, here's what this is about, and I adore this book so far. I'm only 19 pages in, but I'm probably gonna be finished with this by the end of next week, and I don't usually finish books that quickly, but with a flick of her paintbrush, Isabel creates stunning portraits for a dangerous set of clients. The fair folk. These mortal creatures cannot bake bread or put a pen to paper without crumbling to dust. They crave human craft with a terrible thirst, and they trade valuable enchantments for Isabel's paintings. But when she receives her first royal patron, Rook, the autumn prince, Isabel makes a deadly mistake. She paints mortal sorrow in his eyes, a weakness that could cost him his throne and even his life. Furious, Rook spirits Isabel away to his kingdom to stand trial for her crime. But something is seriously amiss in his world. They are attacked from every side. With Isabel and Rook depending upon each other for survival, their alliance blossoms into trust, perhaps even love. A forbidden emotion that would violate the fair folk's ruthless laws, rendering both their lives forfeit. What force could Isabel's paintings conjure that is powerful enough to defy the ancient malice of the fairy courts? Isabel and Rook journey along a knife edge in a lush world where beauty masks corruption, and the cost of survival might be more frightening than death itself. And also, I hope to be rereading one of my favorites. It is The Beach by Alex Garland. I adore that book. I originally picked it up because I heard that Alfie Allen would be narrating the audiobook, but it's been a year, and that book I don't have access to because there is a region lock on it, so I can't listen to Alfie Allen read it to me, so I just read it a bunch of times, and even though that was the reason I picked the book up in the first place, I absolutely fell in love with Alex Garland's writing. I love The Beach. I don't actually love the beach as in the place. I love the book, and it's about that time where I want to read it again. I want to read about this stupid stoner living on a beach. It's a retelling of Lord of the Flies, but with adults and stoners, and I love it. I love it. I adore that story. It's my favorite work from Alex Garland, and I need to reread it. But anyway, guys, that's all for the books that I wanted to share with you guys. But I've been, truth be told, I've been kind of down the past week or two, and I don't really have a real reason to be sad. Like it's just one of those things that happens around this time of year. Probably because it's getting colder. Not terribly cold, but cooler. Cooler is really what I should say. But it is also getting darker earlier, so we have less sunlight. So it could be like a seasonal depression kind of thing. I love fall. I think it's very pretty, but I could do with more light. But anyway, guys, I've rambled on long enough. Thank you, Steve, for giving me the motivation to film. In other news, that could also contribute to my sadness is my tooth. One of my molars is infected. So I've been dealing with that. I have to go through this immense task of steps in order to get rid of this infection. I'm not on antibiotics yet, but we're gonna continue this process for a week or two, and if it doesn't go away, I'm probably gonna get on antibiotics, but I have to gargle with salt water, so I have to take a teaspoon of sea salt and dump it into a mouthwash amount of water, and I have to dissolve it, and then I have to squish it around in my mouth for 1 minute. Then I gotta spit that out, and then I have to very carefully floss my teeth, very carefully, and make sure I get each tooth, especially the one that's infected. I have to be really careful. And then I have to then rinse again with an antiseptic mouthwash before I brush my teeth. And then I brush my teeth for a full 2 minutes, sometimes 2.5 minutes, if I really feel like just getting that tooth extra clean. Yeah. And then, after I brush my teeth, I gargle again. Well, not gargle, but like swish it around in my mouth with a fluoride rinse to help build my enamel back up, because I drink a lot of soda, so that has kind of destroyed my enamel. But it is what it is. It's better than having a root canal. So that's that. Anyway, guys, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.